Hey guys, Hexade here with another video on Tokyo Ghoul Re Call to Exist. This time we're just going to be talking about the story mode of the game and a couple of other things that were kind of unveiled on the website recently, but mainly the story. So from what we know, they just updated the site going over the story. Basically the story is just going to follow Kaneki, which kind of makes sense. I mean, the story is about him, but basically you just play as Kaneki or Heisei and go through his little story from the start of the series up to the end. So there'll be some main boss fights and some other. You basically go through the maps and do that, and then after you complete a certain set of maps, there's going to be this little like a story snippet, kind of like how Rebirth or Reinvoke was, and it just tells you a little bit about the story. And then going on to, let me fix this here. There's this just random. There's 200 different achievements you can do. Unlock stuff, but back to the story mode. The story mode is kind of really half-assed. Basically, you do that thing that I just showed from the first panel or snippet, and then there's these afterwards. There's this different kind of section or kind of mode you go into, and you can just read up on the story, which I guess is like fine. It's like a in-game Wikipedia, but it's kind of weird. Just shows all the different stills of the anime with some text about what actually happened. So what that should tell you is the story isn't going to have any kind of cutscenes or anything. It's just going to be straight up. You do the fight, and then there's these little these little stills with these little texts that tell you what actually happened or what is happening. So one of the concerning things, I didn't notice this the first time I watched this trailer. I kind of did, but I didn't really think much of it. But this isn't actually like an in-game cinematic. Like this isn't in-game, and there's a little thing going on. You're watching the story. This is them playing the game, and then they're just they turn off the HUD and everything, and they're just recording the character. And it's really obvious, like when Fruta starts glowing, and then he turns around and just looks at the camera really derpy. Like it's just in-game. And like you can see this fucking item pouch right there too. Like there's the fucking item pouch. The dude is walking through the wall. And then they're developing the game so they can change the camera angle. But you can see they pan over to him, and he just fucking does that. And it looks rough, dude. It looks really rough, especially with the fucking item pouch at the start. But yeah, that's basically what the story mode is going to be. You just do the couple missions, and then there's this stuff you're supposed to read to catch up on what actually happened. So, yeah. The other stuff, I'm not going to like watch this whole trailer, but you can see the awakenings. So every character can awaken. You basically press the right stick in, and your character awakens. You have to have your action or awakening gauge filled up to a certain point. This thing right here goes over that. We can actually do this. We can translate it, so it talks about the awakening. So when you attack enemies or blah blah blah, the gauge is full. You can wake up. Awakening. During awakening, your attack speed and power are strengthened, and you can kick the enemy. I think kick means more like a knockback, but we'll see. So the interesting thing is they have Tsukiyama featured for this. So it seems like all the characters are going to be able to awaken. It's just some characters are going to have more of a unique awakening. So like Heisei or Juzo gets the Arata armor, or the Arima gets the Owl Quinke. So yeah, so everybody should be able to get it. Just not to ruin whatever balance this game may or may not have. And there's other stuff they added about the gameplay, like the CCG get RC suppressants they can throw out the ghouls, etc. The X, if you're using a PS4 controller, the X button is kind of a movement ability, so you can backstep in a direction, do this, you know. What else did they show? Oh, they showed some new stages, or they unveiled all the stages. As far as I know, these are all the stages in the game. So there's 7. So obviously this is the Aogiri hideout. This is Cochlea. This is Anteku from the Owl Suppression arc. And then this is the auction house. This is the Tsukiyama place, the lunar eclipse. And this is the goats, or the black goats hideout. And this is just the kind of end game area. The dragon. So that's all the stages that they have for us to play on. Nothing new there. Let's see. There was something else. Okay, yeah, the controls are shown here. Let me see if there's anything interesting. I kind of looked at it before. So L2 is the button you use to go into the ranged mode or the shooting mode. And then if you're CCG, you use right 2 to shoot. What does that do for ghouls? Oh, if you're a ghoul and you're in the shooting mode, you do a long press of R2 and it does a unique action. So I'm not going to sit here and translate it. I mean, the game comes out in what, like 14, 15 days? Actually, yeah, 15. So a little bit more than 15 days, but you can look at this if you want. It's whatever. The other thing is they added some different kind of skins for Kaneki. And I've noticed on this page the awakenings are listed here too. So these are all just going to be characters, like Kaneki character, Goat's Kaneki character. And then Centipede should be an awakening. Probably just for the main Kaneki right here. Nothing new for Toka, nothing. Arima. Some people are disappointed because he doesn't throw off the jacket, which is kind of weird, to be honest. And they could have like used the model from Rebirth. But Arima is looking pretty busted, man. He can use Ixa, he can use Narukami. He has 2 different specials with them, and then he can awaken and use the owl. Let's see. Juzo, same thing. They added a picture of the awakening Heisei there. Okay. And they updated the pictures to show all the time skip characters. Alright. Other than that, so the last trailer was the investigator one, and they didn't even show Shinohara at all. It's probably just because he was like the only boss. Because on the Ghoul one, they showed all these different bosses and fighting them. So if he's the only one, it's like him, and then it looks like you just fight Arima too. And other stuff is just characters. So yeah, the story is looking pretty rough. The launch of the game is looking pretty rough in general. Especially because November 15th is the day that Pokemon Sword and Shield comes out. So a lot of people are going to be playing that instead, unfortunately. So I don't know, the game looks really rough. I've said that so many times, but that's just how it is. Like, this is I'm gonna mute it, but just like, no cinematics for the story. It'd been cool if they just kind of adapted into a game, but it's just like there's a couple boss fights you go through. So I think everybody kind of knows what they're getting into with this, and a lot of people are probably not even going to get it on launch, if at all. I mean, it comes on the same day as Pokemon. You're probably just going to forget about this, but hopefully it still ends up fun in some way. Let me know your thoughts below. Are you going to get the game on launch? Are you going to wait, see how it goes, or what are you going to do with it? It's kind of not looking too good for Tokyo Ghoul lately. Rebirth, Reinvoke shutting down, and this game is kind of not looking hot. Otherwise, thank you guys for watching. Let me know if you notice anything else. Otherwise, we'll see what happens when the game comes out. See ya.